What's up, everyone? It is officially released in the US for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game. It is Wednesday, October 20th, 2010. And today we're going to be reviewing... Holy shit, I'm stuttering like fucking mad here. The Marik Structure deck. And, I read the back of it already, and the Marik Structure deck is pretty damn good. And it's not like godly good like the Remove from Game Structure and the Gadget Structures were, but it's still pretty good on its own terms and merits. On the back it says Mystical Beast Circuit and Temple of the Kings are not tournament legal, so we're going to get those out of the way right now. Mystical Beast Circuit is pretty good because, well, it's not pretty good, it's pretty fucking awful if you want me to be honest with you, but attack a monster, destroy it, remove it from the game, gain 500 attack. Yeah, that's like Dark Magician of Chaos right there, except it's a 6-star. But if Temple of the Kings is destroyed, you lose it. So it requires a card to be on the field in the first place, and it's not even that great, so it's pretty much bad. Temple of the Kings is amazing because you could set a card. Its effect is, I'll just read it off here. Sorry for the blank camera here. The controller of this card can activate trap cards the same turn they are set. Basically, that means exactly as it means. You can, like, set a card and then flip it and activate it. Like, let's say you wanted to play Trap Does Shoot turn 1. Well, now you can do that. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, you can just basically play Trap Does Shoot the same turn you get it out and just rape their hand and win the game, I guess. Turn 1, but that's Temple of the Kings and that's Mystical Beast Circuit. They're not really big to the deck that I really want to get into. So, yeah. First off, I am going to start with the monsters. I'll go into the good monsters first, and then I'll work my way down to the horrifically bad, ugly monsters, down to personal favorite preference, which will be at the bottom of this pile, for obvious reasons. So, Lava Golem, it's not part of Gravekeepers at all, but it's good because, number one, it's the premier ultra of the deck, I suppose, and it's not bad at all. The only problem is it's a torture card, and Marik loved torture cards, so there's your torture card for the deck. But otherwise, this is more of a Gravekeeper deck, and there's a lot of good and bad Gravekeepers in here. So we're going to start with the card that's kind of bad, Chief. And the reason why Chief is so good, you need Necrovalley out to make him a 2400. And that's kind of bad by itself. His payoff is the fact that you can special summon a Gravekeeper from the graveyard, but here's the thing with Chief. Chief is kind of bad because in a deck, in a meta full of Synchro Summoning, and in a meta full of Blackwing Swarm, Gladiator Swarm, basically where any deck can win, Chief is kind of useless. I can't really see any reason why you would want to run Chief other than to get another Chief out from your graveyard. But you can't even control another Gravekeeper's Chief. I just read that. It's been a while since I played Gravekeeper, so I'm gonna do the best I can to improvise. But Gravekeeper's Chief you can only run one of, so he's not that great. I'll just put all the cards out now. Ooh, Visionary's in here, yes. Visionary. I don't know how good it is. People comment, please. I know Assailant's good, and I know Command It, and Descendant's good. Personal preference cards are the new Doria and the Geroid. I love Dark Geroid, I always have. Simply due to the fact that no one expects him coming except the people at the card shop. Because I will play with Geroid sometimes, and whenever I do get it out, it completely screws them over. Spear Soldier's going to be in here whenever I do build a Gravekeeper deck. And the reason being, Priestess is okay. She's not awesome she's not really all that awesome. Sure, you get 700 attack points, but you need a monster card zone. She takes up a monster card zone and she's only 1700 attack. So she can get run over, you know, and she's only, what, 1000 attack, so she can get run over by anything unless you get Necrovalley out really fast. So overall, she's not really worth it for the deck. Visionary, though, I would rather run Visionary rather than Chief if I had to run a Tribute Gravekeeper, for the sole purpose that it comes in as a 2500 and it gets bigger, and it can also stop it from being destroyed by Bottomless Trap Hole, Mirror Force. However, Dimensional Prison just fucking laughs at it. Basically says, haha, fuck you. But Dimensional Prison is really this guy's only weakness. He's really good. I think it says you can discard one. Would be destroyed, you can discard one Gravekeeper monster instead. Yeah. So he's pretty good. I like Visionary. And Visionary makes himself bigger with his own effect. The spies are obviously the big. You can get any Gravekeepers you see here. You basically get any Gravekeepers except for that guy right there, and obviously the Visionary. And they will come in at like 2,000 attack if you have Necrovelli out. They'll come in at 22 if you have that and the Priestess out. But I don't like running Priestess, so they'll be 2,000 at most. But yeah. Commandant, Descendant. Descendant's kind of new to me. If only because he's really good at controlling field presence and getting rid of stuff you don't want on the field. And if you have Visionary out, you can just make Visionary bigger. So I like Descendant in here too. And then obviously when I do, I'm only reviewing the deck as is right now, but I probably will post another deck later on in the week. I'll probably have to proxy a few things off the internet, guys, so just bear with me on that. But I will put in as many cards as I own currently. I could probably find them all in the box, but I'll probably be just copies of stuff you see here, because I won't be able to get cards until maybe Saturday. So anyway, 2 guard. Guard is good. Sailent's good because it switches stuff to defense and kills things almost instantly. Can you put him in defense? For the spells, for the horrifically bad, awful cards, the worst card in here, I shit you not, is Legendary Fiend. And Legendary Fiend, it becomes a 2100 at the second turn you have it out, and it's just dies during your opponent's turn, so it's bad. These are all pretty much burn cards, except for Gilgarth. Gilgarth isn't even the worst card in this pile. The worst card in this pile isn't even Gravekeeper's Cannon Holder. Cannon Holder is not that good because you're giving up field presence for burn, and burn is bleh. Boganian is probably the worst card other than Legendary Fiend, if only because it's weak. It inflicts 600 damage to your opponent. Actually, excuse me, that's not the worst card, it's this. It's the Curse. Just a Witch Doctor inflicting a curse upon you. It's not even that good. The monsters, like, there's only, all the monsters are pretty much useful except for these right here, and probably the Gravekeeper's Chief, which is pretty good. The spells are also pretty nice for this deck, given for what the deck is. The spells are pretty nice. Like I said, I'm going to start off with the good spells I think are kind of good in here, and what are not that good in a Gravekeeper for this deck anyway. If I wanted to make a deck around the Marik Structure, but you'll probably not have burn in it at all. It'll probably just be a Gravekeeper's deck. But anyway, so here's the deck. So here's the spells. And I put Typhoon out here on purpose because I'm not running Typhoon in the final build. I want to talk about that in a second. But Necrovelli, the key card of the deck, it does not interfere with Visionary as far as I know. People want to correct me on that, please do, because I have never read the rulings. I haven't read any of the new rulings on Necrovelli yet. Foolish Burial is good because it combos not only with Visionary, but it can also combo with the Gravekeeper Stealth if you're running the Marik styled Gravekeeper deck, which is like Gravekeeper control of sorts, I guess. Swap's good because swap your you have a Geoid out there with nothing to do, just swap it. Swap your Mystic Tomato and get a Recruiter. Book of Moonstop Synchro summons, and it also is a good defensive card. Mystical Space Typhoon is not going to be in the final build whenever I do get a final build up. It's not, and here's the thing. Typhoon, I would rather run Cold Wave, Trapstun, Trunade. I'd rather run all those other than Mystical Space Typhoon in this format. And the reason being, Mystical Space Typhoon without Heavy Storm doesn't work anymore. I've noticed this in the past month. Whenever I've been playing games, Typhoon just gets in the way of my winning. It doesn't help me do anything. It's a mostly dead card. And if you put that in Cold Wave and Typhoon, Cold Wave and Trunade, excuse me, then you just have a dead card. So this is a dead card in the deck. Burial is also sort of a dead card. It only combos with Visionary, really. And unless you're running the Gravekeeper Stealth, which my version won't be running that at all, because I read the effect and it's not that good. It's just going to stay there. I also forgot to talk Allure of Darkness. I shouldn't have to talk about it. You should just see it. But I know there's a couple people who can't really see the cards well. And I do apologize for that. This is as close as I can get it without getting everything blurred out. But Allure of Darkness is a really good power card. It'll be running this in 2 Pot of Avarice, I think, in the final build. So Not too bad. Woo! Stuff's going everywhere. This is the magical stone excavation. As I get the camera out of focus, hooray. Rather out of frame, sorry about that. Magical stone excavation is okay, if only due to the fact that discard a card, gets a spell card back. You're basically getting rid of 2 cards just to get rid of one, just to get 1 card back that might not even help you. Nightmare Steel Cage is a good stall card for Lava Golem, but other than that, it's pretty much useless, considering you don't really need to stall out for Gravekeepers because they're supposed to control the field anyways. And Dark Room of Nightmare, the worst spell in the deck. It's not the worst card. We'll be getting to that very shortly. But it does absolutely no. Actually, it is the worst card in the deck because it does absolutely nothing unless you're burning your opponent to death. And its effect is inflict 400 more points of damage, 300 more points of damage. So you and there was once a loop with I think with the card. Let me see, accept itself. So yeah. Pretty much is horrible, awful card. Now I'll start with the good cards in here, and there's like for trap cards and kind of sucky, but for the Marik Structure though, there you go. Well, Level Up Catastrophe is good for the Marik Structure. Don't ask me why. It just is. If I were to build a Marik style deck, I'd run 2 of these, and the only reason being, destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. Enough said. Get rid of all your opponent's defenses, set a bunch of stuff, go. It's not running like Royal Tribute or anything, so it's pretty much garbage in general. Dark Illusion stops, Book of Moon, other stuff. It's basically mind control, just a lot of different stuff. Mirror Force is the big one in here because everyone's been wanting a common Mirror Force, and we've deserved one for a while for the TCG. Finally got one. Excellent card. If you're going to get the structure deck for any reason at all, get it for the Mirror Force. And then finally, Metal Reflex Slime. It's good for Monarchs and nothing else. Unfortunately. Because if they have Trap Stun in play, it's still treated as a trap card. And then the 4 cards that no one cares about. All 3 of these are burned except for Nightmare Wheel. Nightmare Wheel is both stall and burn. Acid Trap Hole, I really wouldn't run it because it doesn't stop flip effects. So if I hit a Raikou, I'm screwed. They get 3 free cards. They get to hit a card and they get mill. So, but if it gets rid of their defenses, cool. But if I hit a Raikou and it destroys my key monster that I'm trying to use to get rid of anything my opponent may have, sucks. So, Skull Invitation is just another burn card. Coffin Cellar is just another burn card. Yeah, they're both pretty awful, so I wouldn't even bother. But that's the Marik Structure deck. Overall, pretty good. Can it be better? Yes, it could be better. And like I said, later on in the week, I am gonna post a my own Gravekeeper build for the channel. So keep an eye out for that. So with that, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully I'll see you again in the future. See ya.